Joining us now is Mr. Tyrone Docherty. He's the CEO of Deerhorn Capital Incorporated, GODYF in the United States, DHC in Canada. Tyrone, welcome back to the program.
Thanks for having me, Don. Looking forward to it.
Now, it's been a little while since I had you on the show. Tell us again what the company does.
Well, we've got two functions. We're obviously mineral exploration, looking for high-grade gold and silver, but also some green metals called tellurium. And we also have partnerships with indigenous companies where we're going around looking for staking claims in their areas, their historical areas. And we've gone and looked this summer at some areas that have been previously unknown to white explorers, if you will. And we're just going to have a meeting here coming up in the next week or so to ascertain what the assays say and start putting some claims together, because it's a pretty exciting area near what's called the Golden Triangle or the Golden Horseshoe here in British Columbia. Probably next to Nevada, probably the richest areas in the world still to look at. So it's pretty exciting there. But what's been one of our main focuses lately is also dealing with indigenous partners with indigenous healthcare, is to battle this COVID pandemic. And we've been working to try and get stuff into Health Canada through our partners in Houston, Texas. They've got a great line on some wonderful South Korean products that one's already been approved by the FDA and others are into submission. And Health Canada, up until this morning, September 30th, hadn't approved any rapid tests, and they've actually changed their mind, and it's available today. So that gives us a bit of oomph to move forward. But our partners in Houston, one of the events that have happened in a deal that does not involve Deerhorn and our partner Chiona Health is they've just received orders for, I think it's close to $300 million to get PPE and other COVID-related tests into the United States. So they're now working on their South Korean suppliers to get it in there, see if they can do it and when they can deliver. But how that affects us is the fact that although that's independent of us, we're working with a triumvirate, if you will, with the company in Houston being Tokemis Biotech and an NGO out of Washington, D.C. called Resolve, who go around solving problems around the world. And we have a partnership, a three-way partnership in the United States to help underprivileged people, whether it's what we call them First Nations up here, tribal places in the United States, and other inner city people that are looking to get equipment provided to them and money donated to them. And that seems to be going along quite well. So we anticipate in the very near future, early October, I would say, that we'll be able to announce something where we're helping various groups that are in need of help, and moving forward onto other groups that don't need help, and should be quite an interesting financial opportunity for us in various clinics and hospitals and schools and so on. So as everyone can see from the news reporting in the last couple of days, if not the last week, the second stage of COVID is certainly making itself available. So the products that we have through South Korea will certainly answer that. And just as a side note, the company in Houston, Tokemis, has specifically decided not to use any products from China, as there's a number of problems with the accuracy and the professionalism. And not only that, but obviously politically, there's been some problems where China is causing trouble, not only in the United States, but also in Canada. So we think it's a great alternative, and we think that we have the answers to help people get through this pandemic.
Well, this whole COVID thing is interesting. It's an opportunity, obviously, but it's also a challenge because it's really a moving target, isn't it?
Sorry, say that again, Don?
I said this whole COVID thing is an opportunity, obviously, but it's also a challenge because it's a moving target.
Well, absolutely. And the biggest challenge so far for us, being Deerhorn and Chiona Health, our indigenous partners, has been Health Canada, where they basically up until now have refused to even look at rapid testing results. And of course, that's okay for people in big cities like Toronto, Montreal, Vancouver. You can walk down to a clinic and they can get it to the hospital for testing. But for people in isolated areas, such as indigenous people, the Inuit, they don't have that ability. So they got to get the test and wait 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks to get a result to find out if you're infected or not, which certainly by the time they send it may not be the case by the time they get it back. So there's a real push going on through our indigenous partners saying, we have the right to take care of our own health if you can't do it. So that's sort of going on in the background, but fortunately, Health Canada this morning gave the approval to have these rapid tests.
Once again, Deerhorn Capital Incorporated in the United States, they're listed GODYF. In Canada, the stock symbol is DHC. Great update, Tyrone. Thanks so much for joining us.
I appreciate it, Don. Thank you very much.